Hi, I'm Glenn, and this is a Tigerstop. If you don't already have one in your shop, stay with us. In the next few minutes, we're going to show you why this fast and accurate positioning tool is your only choice for custom and production cutting. Before we demonstrate the speed, accuracy, and efficiency of the Tigerstop, we're going to look at the old way of doing your cut-off work, where we measure twice and cut once. With Ed's help, we're going to process a custom cabinet order. We've created a list of parts we need for this kitchen. Ed is putting the material on the in-feed table, setting the stop, making a test cut, and measuring the part. If the part is correct, he'll cut the rest of the parts this size. But as frequently happens, he'll need to adjust the stop and try again. Like you, we want a quality product, so Ed's being as accurate as possible. We've placed a clock at the bottom of your screen to record the time needed to finish the job. Well, it's taken Ed an hour and 41 minutes to process the order with reasonable accuracy. As you probably noted, Ed labeled the various parts while he was cutting to ensure the parts went to the right assemblies. He also checked parts off his cut list to ensure he cut the right number of parts. Ed got to know his pencil really well in the process. You know, it looks like we had quite a bit of waste here. As good as Ed is, he still miscut a couple of pieces. So let's take a look at a better way of doing this. We can work faster and more accurately while reducing our cost and our waste by adding a Tigerstop to our current equipment. We can virtually eliminate setup time and make dead-on cuts the first time every time. Let's add a Tigerstop and see how we do. It's that simple. The Tigerstop is a highly accurate positioning tool that increases your operator's output and your bottom line. We're going to process the same cabinet order, this time using the Tigerstop. As you can see, Ed was able to eliminate several steps. He simply entered his lengths, positioned his material, cut his parts, and checked them off as he did them. Let's see it up close. Ed enters his cut length in the controller. He presses start, and the stop moves to position. He sets the board up against the stop and simply makes the cut. Forget the old adage, measure twice, cut once. Now, you don't even have to measure once. Ed has marked and labeled the order, and in much less time. In fact, the same order that took us over an hour and 40 minutes with the old way of doing things was completed in just over an hour. With the Tigerstop, we saved 34% in labor cost on this one job. Let's see if other Tigerstop users have recognized that same level of savings.
The labor savings at the Tigerstop has cut us down probably to a quarter of the time that it would take if you were to do it manually.
And so we scaled our shop down to about 4 employees right now. And we're getting as much done as we had with 8. And it's hard to believe, but it's true. It's been a great product.
All the user has to do is keep hitting the start button and it'll move up to the next cut. And that really eliminates one person from one side of a sliding table saw, because the sliders just by nature, have a barrier. So you have to run around them to adjust the fence. But with the Tigerstop, that isn't something you need to do. The sawyer, the guy running the saw, can do all the adjustment from his side of the table.
If we were to produce the same level we're doing right now without our Tigerstops, I would say we'd have to hire probably 2 people and have 2 machines to manually do that same work.
Money. It's probably why you're in business. You work hard to control costs and maintain your margins. You strive for efficiency, but if the results of some activities are invisible, your costs go up. The key to achieving solid productivity and controlling your costs is Tigerstop. Can your rip fence do this? You can reduce your costs and achieve a 35% increase in productivity with a minimum investment. A Tiger rip fence easily attaches to your existing equipment. From your standard table saw to sliding panel saws, Tiger rip fence turns them into automated workhorses. By automatically positioning your fence, the Tiger rip fence gives you the freedom to move and cut material faster and more accurately. The 12-inch rip you made today will be the same as the 12-inch rip you make tomorrow, and the day after, and the day after. If increased margins in your shop seem to be an illusion, remember, without a Tiger rip fence, you haven't got a ghost of a chance.
As we've seen, the Tigerstop is a fantastic tool, but that's just the beginning. Tigerstop's advanced features make it even more powerful. These features make your work more efficient, cut even more labor costs, and further reduce waste. We're going to cut that same order again, however this time we're linking to an office computer. We'll also use Tigerstop's optimizing software and an automatic labeler that prints information for the parts we cut. Tigerstop works smoothly with almost all cabinet design and cut list generation programs. Your cut list is easily sent to the Tigerstop controller. There's no need to take it to the shop floor or manually enter the cut list into the Tigerstop. Now that the cut list is in the controller, Ed's free to use the revolutionary Tigerstop optimizer. Instead of guessing what pieces to cut from each board, Ed simply enters a usable length and the optimizer figures out the best use of the material. This can reduce your scrap by 55% or more, putting those savings in your pocket. Because Ed's using the Tigerstop labeler, he's freed from having to mark each piece by hand. Let's look at it close up. Ed's made a trim cut at the beginning of the board. The usable length between the trim and the first defect is 18 inches. Ed enters this length into the controller, and the optimizer will now look for the right combination of parts to make from the cut list. The Tigerstop optimizer is unparalleled in processing capability, able to effectively consider up to 15,000 different combinations a second for each usable length. While Ed is cutting, a labeler creates a unique label for each piece. After the defect is removed, Ed looks for the next defect. There is another knot at 40 inches. Again, he enters the usable stock length into the controller. The optimizer figures out the best use and the stop moves to position. Ed has finished the cut, and it looks like the optimizer can get more pieces out of the usable length. Meanwhile, the Tigerstop is keeping track of the parts, positioning the stop, and printing unique labels for each part. Ed just concentrates on cutting and entering the usable lengths. No more fiddling around with pencils, trying to keep track of counts, hand marking parts, and setting and resetting stops. Let's watch Ed process a board with fewer defects. Looks like Ed has wrapped up this job pretty quickly. By using the optimizer and the labeler, we were able to complete the same cut list in 24 minutes with a 55% reduction in waste. Let's talk to some Tigerstop users and find out how they get optimal results from their Tigerstop.
With the Tigerstop, you're able to optimize and get the best cuts. At the end of the day, when you look in the scrap bin, you find that the only thing that's in there are defects and maybe 1 to 2 inches of waste, if that.
It's reduced our waste probably 80%, because by doing everything by hand, there's no optimization of that board. You're going to start at the biggest and cut down to the smallest and try to use up your scrap. This way here, you're cutting big, small, whatever the best size that fits the length of material that you input the machine.
I mean, you can't do it any quicker, I don't think. That's excellent.
Is the Tigerstop more efficient? No doubt about it. Let's look at the numbers and compare a traditional setup with the Tigerstop. As you can see, our custom cut order using a traditional stop and chop saw took over an hour and 41 minutes and wasted a substantial amount of material. By adding a basic Tigerstop, we were able to reduce our labor cost by more than 34%. We also improved our production time, reduced the number of miscut parts, and achieved better accuracy. That's pretty amazing for such a minimal investment. Using the optimizing software and the labeler, we completed the job in 24 minutes. That's less than a quarter of the time that it took using traditional methods. We also reduced our waste by 55%. So what does this mean to you in annual savings? Ed saved about $52 on this job. If you cut a couple of small jobs a day, your savings would add up to almost $30,000 in the first year. In just a few minutes, we've seen 15 years of industry change. The Tigerstop is a fast and accurate positioning tool that will streamline your shop, reduce your waste, and increase your profits. Put a Tigerstop in your shop today. Here's how.